Yeah, customer dropped his bike back off to me. Wants new tires put on it. He messaged me a little while ago, well, a couple weeks ago, about putting some tires on there, and he wanted me to do it like overnight. And I was all like, I can't even get the parts that quick. So I told him to order some parts, and I'll put it on, but he never got back to me. And then today he messaged me, wanting to bring this thing over. Replaced the rear tire, says the front one just needs some air, but I'm curious to see if that's the case. But in the process, he screwed something up here because it doesn't even roll. It's all tight. So obviously he did something wrong down there, and now I'm gonna fix it. This is what I'm telling people: if you don't know what you're doing, don't mess with it. All right, I'm gonna get this tire off here, and I'm gonna get this replaced. Hopefully this goes smoothly, because this kid absolutely destroys these bikes. I noticed the sight glass in the rear masters pretty much rotten away. This is broken off. I don't know if I can fix that. It looks like it's ripped. See if I got another one for that. But yeah, I mean, like, I got this. The shock is all maxed out. The front fender is all loose and broken off. Got one screw in there. I mean, sometimes you gotta tell your kids to take care of stuff. So let's see if we can get this thing off without any issues. Probably have to take the brake caliper off to start there. How does that come off? Should just one bolt hole maybe in there? One bolt and a pin. What kind of ridiculousness is that? What is going on there? I don't even know. Don't even know. Pin, there's no bolt. That inside one, so my guess is the wheel's gonna have to come off first. So let's see what we got here. Not 17, must be 14. Heck no, that's like a 17. Go figure, right? Go figure. Every time this guy comes over, it's always like a rush. And I'm like, I can't, I got stuff I need to get done. You can't just be here at your beck and call because you screwed something up. And I know exactly why he brought it to me. And that's because he tried to fix it himself. So a spacer there. I don't see a spacer there. So let's get this rod out of here. Bolt. Way. Pop his chain out. Let's see about this back brake. That's nice. Nothing was even holding that on. Oh, I see how it is. It's just let's get that off. I believe that is a 12. I want to pull the valve stem out of here and get my tire bars. that tube is turning. It shouldn't turn. Don't know why that is turning. It's flat. I wonder if you tried turning that and it ripped the valve stem off of there. Let me go ahead and lube this up too. Much as I hate using WD-40, but alright, let's see how that goes. Wouldn't be too bad, I would presume it would go off pretty easy because it's not that tight of a tire, but you never know. You never know. Break it loose from the other side. Dry rotted. It's just falling apart, literally. Can't even get anything in there. Try right here. Off. See if we can snip that tube out of there. If I can. Yeah, that stem just got ripped right off of there. Yeah, see, it's been ripped right off of there. Ripped right off. Alright, let's see if we can get the rest of this off without a problem. Let's see if we can get the stem pop out of there. Flip this around. All right, I'm gonna take this again. I popped the tube. I pinched it, putting it in. So that cost me $11. So I'm not gonna charge him for my mistake. But after checking out the back tire, knowing that I pinched it, and after he brings me this bike, with other problems after he attempted to fix it. I went and checked the front tire to fill that up there, and that one was pinched too. So I have to now do the front one as well, but I am charging him for it. The joys of putting in a tube, especially in a dirt bike. So let's get at this one again and see how this goes. I'm gonna baby powder this one up outside of the bike just to help it, slide around in there. I definitely would recommend doing this, and it's gonna be a little dusty, but hopefully it all works out for the best. All right, so we'll set this aside, shake all the extra off there. Valve stem is in. Let's get this tube tucked in there nicely. And hopefully we can get this tire seated back on there and not have any issues with popping it. So I really despise dirt bike tires just for that reason. They're just kind of a pain in the butt. It's like, I'd rather just have a tubeless tire. So I guess the rule is, if you don't want to pinch it, don't go past 12 o'clock, but I don't know what that even consists of. Let me see if I can get my spray to work here. Just got some soapy water in here. My crappy sprayer. All right, so this is in there. Should be able to pop these down in there without the pry bars or the let me get some gloves on. Get that fly. This is gonna piss me off the whole time I'm out here. Let's start at the valve stem seal, or the valve seal, valve stem, I guess you could say. If I can get this on there without having to use any tire spoons, that'd be great, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I wish that was the case, but I don't think it's gonna be the case. This side just wants to come out the other side. Come on. Why won't you just go on? It's always a fight. Come on. This shit fucking, it's bullshit. Let's see if I can get up on this lift here. Make it a little bit easier. I can hold that side down with my knee. I might be able to get this side over. I don't even know if I need some smaller spoons or what, but this is ridiculous. All right, there we go. Whew. That was not fun. Not fun at all. That was borderline ridiculous. Wish I had a better air check. I don't know what's up with that. To put the valve stem back in. Guess that's probably why it wasn't taking air. I really hate this clamp. I'm going to remove this. All right, so that is that. I guess there's a lot of controversy on these nuts right here. So some people just say to run it up to the cap there and just leave it there. So that way, if the tube needs to move in there, it can move in there. So we should be good there. I'm gonna go ahead and mount this back up there. I need to check these brakes out. And they're getting low, but he's got a little room left. So we'll I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna double nut it, so that way it's not gonna come loose or anything. And we'll put that cap back on. So this one has the valve stem thing, so if you need to remove some air. All right, so that one's done. Let's get this back on the bike. And I'm gonna lube up this shaft here. I'm gonna put some grease on this here just to keep it from spinning dry in there. Oh, what do I do with that thing? Oh, there it is. Just go ahead and spread this around on there. And then we'll go ahead and reinsert it back onto the bike. If you guys haven't seen, I did buy this ramp or lift, and it did come with this motorcycle setup. So I just basically, it's got a whole separate panel here. Get this out of the way there, so if you can see. So it's basically another panel from right here all the way up front there, and it just slides over that part, and then you got your stand there for your tire, and then it's got a little swivel piece there that tightens up the other one. And then I just put this under the middle there so I can work on the bike. Doesn't leave me much room up there, but if I had to pull the lift back, I could, but I kind of have it set where it's at, so that way, you know, when the wife pulls her truck in and the ramp's up, it's not gonna hit her truck. So it's just temporary, so I can just slide that out and put that aside. But let's get this wheel back on. And we'll go from there. I'm gonna have to get this back into the rotor there. Put this chain on. Get this spacer in here some way, somehow. And then we'll go ahead and run this in there. Get my other gloves back on. I guess the only downfall of doing it with the ATV size on it is it's kind of a pain to reach over and stuff, but I have to come over there and finish this up. Normally I can take the two side pieces off and go about it that way. This one needs to go somewhere too, I think. That one is actually inside that wheel. I can take that back off. That fell out. That goes inside here. And we'll put this caliper motor back on. Can. Well, I think it does not want to stay in there. Let's see if I can push this. It's not going to work. That's holding that in there. Why, Mr. Bushing, are you coming out? There we go. All right, let's swing back to the other side. Go ahead and put this rod in. Pushing in. Let's let this down a little bit so it's lined up. I don't have to fight it so much. I'll go ahead and put this bushing back in, or spacer, whatever you want to call it. On this too. What the heck? I guess it doesn't go in very far. There's one in the middle there too that's flopping around. Ah. I have to see if I can get a screwdriver in there. Manipulate it. Let's go with this one here. Back and forth, back and forth. There we go. Right. Hopefully that took care of that. Let's go back to the other side. Make sure this is lined up accordingly. Chain adjuster. All right. There's that. There's that. Now there should be another nut somewhere. Another. So go ahead and put this on with the chain adjuster plate that way. Now we'll go ahead and tighten that up. I think that chain's pretty good right there. I did adjust that last time. I don't want to adjust it too much and then have it break. So, where's my impact? Where is my impact? Oh, here it is. And there should be a wrench somewhere. 14? No, it was a 17. I'll have to see how that looks when I get it down here. I don't want it too tight, so pretty loose now, but I understand why that's rubbing on that. Let's get that loose. All right, that is that. I mean, that seems all right. If I make it any tighter, it's just gonna, I am breaking on him. So I'll lube it up and then we'll call that good. All I really gotta do is the front one. And check the air pressure in there. I think I'm gonna have to flip this bike around and put the back tire in the vise there. So let's prepare for that. All right, so he says that he put this, well, I think he was blaming his son, but I'm not seeing a freaking pad on the inside, or on the outside, I should say. But I mean, basically, this thing doesn't turn. It's really hard to turn, so obviously something is not right. So let's get this off and check it out. Let's see how bad he screwed something up. Because I definitely have to put a new tube in it. So I could only imagine what's going on here. I could only imagine. Maybe the spacer's not around the right side because one's bigger than the other. Let's worry about this tire real quick. I don't know what's going on with this. I mean, there's pad in there, but I don't know. Let's try to pry that back just a little bit. My guess is, since these two are different sizes, they're swapped. You know, the guy should have just brought it to me the first time, but he wanted to try to get it rushed out the door because he was going camping or something, and that would be my guess, but this is what happens when, you know, you try to rush stuff. So, you know, he was kind of trying to rush me to get it done. He's like, oh, I'll just wait. I was all like, well, I got stuff to do. I'm not going to sit here and do it, you know, right now. But you're more than welcome to come get it on Monday. I mean, it's take it or leave it. Obviously, you didn't fix it right the first time. So here I am doing it the second time. I wonder if you bent this rotor. think so, but you never know. All right. Let me get my gloves back on and let's get this one pried off. I'm just gonna use the old WD-40. Need to invest in some tire soap or something that I can use that is not as messy as WD-40. So the side is pretty much done. Just have to flip it over and break this side loose. And it's done. All right, let's get this valve stem out of here. Bring you guys back over here to my side. And here, go ahead and just take this out of there. That's So I always buy 2 tubes because I don't want to have to reorder another tube just in case. I mean, I told the guy $200 to take care of this, so that's $100 a tube there. So I mean, the tubes were like 33 bucks altogether, so I'm not really worried about it. I'll just absorb the cost. Absorb the cost. Let me spray some WD-40 on this side. Really worried about this tube because it already is damaged, because it does leak. So I'm more worried of trying to get this to pop off. There we go. It's like, I know I just pinched that tube again. Big spot started. There we go. Might be able to get lucky. Just pull it up. Yeah, there we go. I don't think the fronts are as bad as the backs because they're a little more pliable, but I could be wrong. All right, let's get that out of there. Let's get this tube out of here. If we can. All right, get this out of here. Let's see where they screwed this one up. Fill it with some air. Where'd my air hose go? Something over there. There's a hole there. You can see it kind of got pinched right there. It didn't leak, but there's a pinhole here. So there's that. I don't know if I can poke through that. I'll check it out to make sure. Clean this up in here. Just make sure nothing poked through. I think I'm gonna put some new tape on this because see where the thing's pinched here. So I might have poked a hole in that screw there. So let's get this off of here. That's just trash. Dry this up, clean this up. We'll just put some duct tape on there, like Gorilla tape, 2 times around. So I'm gonna have to definitely use some brake clean on there. Bent. All right, let me see what kind of tape I got around here somewhere. I don't know what I do with all my tape. Electrical tape, there's that tape. Let's go find some. All right, so I'm just gonna reline this with some Gorilla tape, or T-Rex tape, I guess you could say. This stuff is super sticky. And I'm gonna go right down the middle. Try to keep it off where the beads are. If it even will go down there. Probably gonna be too thick. Needs to be thinner. So, on that note, let's cut some of this off. And, figure out how to make this thinner. Fuck. Damn long. So I just need a piece like that just to go right down the middle. So basically you just need to rip it in half. All right, so I'm gonna have to just rip this in half as I go around, I guess. Damn, this shit's like on there. Just it rips pretty easily. Easily down the middle. I have to go around twice, so I'm gonna try to save the other side to go around a second time. I just have to use this piece to finish the job. I just want to protect these this tube from the spoke screws because they're kind of pointy and I don't want any issues. With it puncturing the tube, so that should be good for one. I'm gonna go around one more time just to make sure. I'll go ahead and press this down. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just put this on top of this cabinet here. And I'll split it down that way. I don't know if this was the problem he was having and it kept popping the tube, but it's possible. So I'm just gonna go ahead and eliminate that altogether so we don't have that issue, because last thing I need is for him to come back and I'm doing this again. But so that should take care of that. I'll go ahead and press this down. Just wondering if I can just run a wrench down there. And I'm just gonna go with that. So I basically just, put the tape in there and then the tube will sit on there and it won't get punctured by the screws that are coming through. Hang on to this so it doesn't get lost. Had a heck of a time trying to find that. The wife had it. This can go in the garbage. And let's get this tire back on here. I don't think this is directional. We'll just make sure. I do not see a directional symbol on here. Just a pretty universal tire. All right, let's pop this back on there, get that tube in there, and get this bottom part in there. So I don't like the way that looks on the. Hopefully this one won't give me any trouble getting to seating in here. that. Let's get the tube in there. I got 2 tubes for the front as well. Like when they come with extra valve stem removers. Get this one off. I'm gonna powder this one up. And then, well, they even give you extra valves. Of course. Interesting. All right, let's powder this one up. You either put this in the tire or on the tube. It's easier for me to do it on the tube. I mean, I could have done it while the tire was off, but you know me, just jumping ahead of the game. All right, so let's get this in the hole here. Where is the valve stem hole? It is right here. I need to cut out the, I did not do that. Cut out the tape. I just taped it up over it. So let me get a poker. And it's right here, I do believe. And then we'll kind of cut that off with a razor blade. Because once I put it on there, I would have been like, damn it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just kind of cut a little square around there. Move the tape. All right. Start with the valve stem. I lost it again. Oh, there it is. Where did the bolt there? Nut. All right, put this nut on here. Ah, fingers. Fingers are stuck. So I'll just put that on there to hold it. And then we'll go ahead and get this tube in there. Hopefully this one will go a little bit better. The purpose of the baby powder is for it to slide around in there when you're filling it up. You don't want it sticky, you don't want it twisted. You just want it to seat itself in there. So that's what the baby powder is for. Nothing more, nothing less. Not to make it smell good. It's not to keep it dry from chafing. I guess you could say it's to keep it from chafing against the rim, but all right, so that is in. Just make sure it's all down there, not poking up anywhere. I'm hoping this one will just pop on and I don't need to spoons it off. But the way things have been going, definitely not going to work for me. Let's start at the valve stem. Oh, might get lucky here. Might get lucky. Maybe not. Let's see if we can get some lube on there. That'll help. Oh, my knees are gonna be so sore. I get so lucky. I only get so lucky. Come on. It's like it wants to, but it doesn't want. I need to wipe this off some. It's a little slippery on the outside here. It's going. Maybe. Oh, it's just this like one little section. Come on. Almost there. It's literally almost there. Ah, there we go. All right, fill this with some air. See how it goes. I guess I need to put the valve stem. Oh, there's a valve stem in there. Golly, I think we got her. That was a pain in the ass. That is for sure. I think we need to let the air out again. Fix that there, because it doesn't look like it's seated there correctly. That looks all right. And just what concerns me is there's this little lip right here, and it doesn't look like it's seated all the way. That looks better. Let's try that. Much better. All right, I'm happy with that. I think we're good. I think we are good. I don't know exactly what happened here with the why it's rubbing the rotor, but we're gonna find out here real shortly. This cap on here. And then let me get some gloves back on here and we'll mess with this front. I don't think this is bent. That can swivel on its own. That can swivel on its own. All right. So I think my guess is the spacers were in the wrong side, but we will find out here in a minute. Let's see. So that goes in there. So I think the bigger spacer is going to go on this side, would be my guess. And the smaller spacer is going to go on this side, would be my guess. I think they were reversed. And let's see if we can come down just a little bit. Up some more, just make sure we got a good free wheel there. Yeah. So that would be my guess, was the spacers here got switched because the smaller one was over here and the bigger one was on the other side. So that will do it for sure. I just gotta find that nut. Where did that go? Couldn't have gone far, that's for sure. There it is. And then we'll set the tire pressure. I don't know what the tire pressure is on these. I don't see it anywhere. It's kind of odd. You would think it would say somewhere. I would say maybe 12. I want to say. Now, let's check out the air filter here. This thing is all busted off here. So this thing right here is all broken off that rubber. So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to fix that. I might just have to order a new one. I don't know if I have another one of these. I have to check the box of pit bike or China bike parts. I don't have this rubber piece, and I don't know if this is going to be fixable. Let's find out. I think this is already trashed. Thought I had a rubber boot somewhere, but usually these are just glued in. Let me check. See if we can get this to fit on here. Oh yeah, would you look at that? So let's see if we can get this. All right, so we'll be able to get that on there. Let's get this in here. Hopefully this fits in here. And then we can stick that on here, possibly. Oh, let's get the hose clamp on there first. Definitely don't want it to come back and put that on there. Can we get it? Oh yeah, perfect. Look at that. Like it was meant to fucking be. That's why I save these parts. You know, if they're not bad, I'm not gonna throw them away. Yeah, like I hate throwing stuff away when it's like, if I can't use it, maybe something I bring in can use it, or someone else can use it. Like those 2 Kawasaki's I just picked up. I got 2 sets of rear paddles with it. And I mean, the rims were the Douglas wheels, the black label ones, so they're the thick aluminum ones. And like, I hate throwing that stuff away. So, I'll give it away. I mean, if someone else can use it, by all means, let them use it. But I certainly couldn't have used it, so I just gave it away. I guess let's clean up this mess. I need to flip this bike back around and we'll adjust this tire pressure, and then I need to lube the chain.